Find Your Magic is an initiative to help young men learn how to be comfortable with who they are.
Comfortable about who they are by making them feel paranoid and ashamed of what they are. That's what you actually mean, whether you realize it or not.
Now, it all started with a partnership between
Axe body spray. Well then, this ought to be both pungent and inflammatory.
And two very well-known people you might recognize at a Northside high school. Take a look.
Dancing, cheering, and attentive eyes all at Roosevelt High School.
Oh, yeah. Just look at that crowd's enthusiasm. Yeah, they look really happy to be there.
Give it up for Kyle coming out here. Make some noise, Roosevelt, make some...
Poet Carlos Andres Gomez and rapper-actor Super Duper Kyle discuss toxic masculinity and bullying.
Yes, because bullying is only ever performed by males and is an inherent consequence of masculinity. There's no such thing as females ever bullying anyone. Got it.
Toxic masculinity is something that affects all of us, particularly women and girls.
It affects all of us. All of us, yet particularly women and girls. All of us, particularly. I'll just let that sink in for a moment. Okay. Moment's over.
It's when young men feel like they have to conform to this one idea of what being masculine is, right?
Right. Because there is only one definition of what it means to be masculine, and all boys and men are required to fit the mold by the, invisible authority that mandates such things. And our speakers know what that one version of masculinity is, which is how they're so successful at being emasculine. I guess.
Both professionals talked about the similar challenges they faced in their journey of discovering who they are.
I couldn't subject myself to trying to conform and fit in and be this tough dude that nothing was wrong with me because I'm so damn cool. You feel me? I couldn't do that anymore because I was just so hurt.
Okay, well, that sounds like a personal issue. It sounds like your problem with your own sense of masculinity. So, please tell me, why does your personal discomfort have to become a point of paranoia and shame for all other boys and men?
I'm exploring and interrogating my emotions and my sensitivity as a way to do the work that I do, which also the culture that I grew up in, you're not supposed to talk about emotions. And if you're a man, you're not supposed to have emotions.
Well, I have no idea what culture you grew up in, but there is a significant difference between not having emotions and being in control of one's emotions. Callousness and stoicism are two very different concepts. Perhaps you should consider that before branding masculinity as an element of sociopathy.
You are a walking metaphor for walking through the fear.
I am a walking metaphor for walking through the fear. Was that a line from your poetry? If so, you might want to do a rewrite. You might want to drop the first walking. You should try to avoid repetition like that in your writing. This has been your English Major Moment, brought to you by Tongue Butter.
This initiative helps young people value their emotions, like these two who performed.
Guys, what I need you to know is that tears and fears are okay.
Well, thank you, nameless female, for giving us guys permission to both cry and be afraid. I mean, wow. Before you allowed us to do so just then, I had lived my entire life as a composed and brave individual. But now, thank Lilith, I can sob and cower with the best of them.
If I saw a girl up there saying it's okay to be emotional, that would have saved my life. That would have saved me from years of heartache and depression.
You have got to be kidding me. Dude, seriously, my last bit was a joke. It was sarcasm. But you honestly needed someone, specifically a female, to tell you that it was okay to cry and okay to be scared. All right, well, I don't think what you needed was permission. I think what you needed was professional help. Or a dominatrix. Which is pretty much the same thing, I guess.
The talk left Roosevelt students feeling uplifted, to say the least.
It was very beautiful, the way they talked.
Beautiful. Well, that's defying some masculinity, I guess.
I really enjoyed this. I like that you guys came out here and talked to us.
I feel better. I feel like I can be myself. I can show what I want, what I have.
So here we have another person who needed permission to just, be themselves, I guess. It's kinda sad, honestly.
It's definitely about trying to diffuse and dismantle a culture of bullying, but I think our way to that is trying to replace all that negativity with something really positive.
Yes, because, again, bullying is only a consequence of masculinity, and masculinity automatically threatens the world with negative outcomes. Got it.
And Kyle has a special connection with the youth. His main focus is to keep being a positive role model.
My entire career, I feel like I've been using to try and make kids fall in love with themselves. You feel me? To make kids love themselves for real, because that's the biggest thing I've struggled with.
Well, promoting notions of self-empowerment and self-esteem are not bad things at all, in theory. And I do appreciate that that is our speaker's mission and goal in his career. However, whether he would admit it or not, our speaker is telling boys that there is something inherently wrong with them. He is telling them that they, all of them, are flawed, and that they always will be. He's telling them to be fearful of their masculine instincts, to doubt themselves, their emotions, and their reactions to things as either wholly negative or things to always hold as morally suspect. And that kind of pervasive, perpetual self-doubt and self-hatred is the antithesis of building self-esteem. Masculinity is not toxic. There are moral actions and there are immoral actions. And every human on the planet, male or female, is capable of choosing to do one or the other when a decision point is laid before them. The only thing the mantra of toxic masculinity actually does is to imbue every male as being possessed with original sin. A sin which they must make penance for forever. And that makes the theory of toxic masculinity toxic, all on its own. As always, thank you for watching.